Washington, a judge won't let a Florida couple, who pleaded guilty to joining the mob that attacked the Capitol on January 6 appear by video for sentencing after they cited how expensive it would be to travel to D.C. for their hearing. In a terse order Thursday night, U.S. District Judge Trevor McFadden signaled he was not impressed with the argument that traveling to Washington to come to court would pose a financial hardship for people who came to D.C. from across the country and participated in the riots in January. Defendants found the means to travel to Washington, D.C. to commit the crime to which they have pled guilty, McFadden wrote. Defendants can therefore find the means to return to Washington, D.C. to be held accountable for this crime. McFadden's order is the latest to shed light on how the judges presiding over these cases are thinking about what accountability should look like for people who participated in the riots. Judges in other cases, for instance, have refused to let defendants and their lawyers use court proceedings to downplay their contributions to the violence that took place at the Capitol, to invoke comparisons to the protests last year against racism and police brutality, or to push the narrative that they were similar to tourists.
Last week, U.S. District Judge Reggie Walton ordered 2 Capitol rioters who pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor crime to each pay $5,000 fines, a punishment that the government hadn't asked for, explaining that people have to understand that if you do something like this, it's going to hurt. In another January 6 case involving a misdemeanor plea deal, McFadden previously imposed a $3,000 fine that prosecutors didn't request. Dana Wynn and Rachel Pert were charged together and each pleaded guilty to a single misdemeanor count for illegally going into the Capitol. They were also indicted on 1 felony count for obstructing Congress, but the government agreed to drop that as part of their agreement. They're scheduled to be sentenced before McFadden on December 20th. On Thursday, their lawyers filed a joint request asking the judge to change that hearing from in-person to video, noting the expenses that the pair would have to incur, including traveling from Florida, paying for hotel, and arranging for care for Pert's 2 children.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe